If I told you that Ghana is even in a better rank than the United States, would you believe it?
No.
The list of most peaceful countries in the world, the US is on. Ghana is on 55, and can you guess where Nigeria is?
If Ghana is at 55, I'd want to assume Nigeria will maybe be 56 up to about 60.
Why do you? I was actually rooting for Cameroonians because I love Cameroonians. I'm not gonna lie.
Who is on number one?
That's a good question, honestly.
Aquiva. AQU.
Transcendent. TRA.
Circumlocution.
The fuck? What? Pernicious.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I can use it in the mood. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trends Avenue. And my name is Nana Adom Jr. and I'm here with my brother, the one and only Kojo Bafo. Kojo, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Charlie.
He's the money man. And you see how he laughs?
So I think it's going to basically be about the Global Peace Index.
So basically we're talking about the peaceful countries or the happiest countries in the world today. Do you have anything to say in general?
I think reading through the executive summary, it kind of gives a basic idea of the indicators, what they basically looked at to determine that, okay, this is like the most peaceful country.
Right.
So those indicators, for me, I think I find quite interesting.
Okay.
Especially when sometimes you look at what is really going on around you and then looking at that. But that is in no way downplaying what they did. Of course,
right.
They've done their research. So
that's right.
We find it interesting, and that's why we want to just basically talk about it.
It's extremely interesting. And, you know, when I was looking at the first 20, I didn't find any African country on it. I didn't find any African country on that list, like from 1 to 20. None of us.
Well, interesting you should bring that up because it even goes beyond 1 to 20.
It goes beyond 1 to 20.
I think even 1 to 30, you would not find an African country. For me, what strikes a chord for me on that part is Ghana is considered to be a
peaceful
very peaceful country.
That's
exactly.
right.
And I mean, when there's peace, you would want to associate that with happiness.
That's right.
So if there is peace, then there's happiness. And even looking at just the Christmas that went by, there's always that anxiety. December. Everybody wants to go to Ghana.
People are trooping in and out to Ghana.
Dirty December, you know. And then most of the times when you're going to Africa, Ghana will be one of the top picks.
That's right.
So to not make even the first 30, it gets you wondering.
Let me ask you this. Which country would you be surprised that they didn't fall on the first 20? Would you be surprised that they didn't fall on the first 20?
Ghana, definitely.
Definitely. He's really surprised.
I'm really surprised at that. Nigeria is also known to have a lot of, exciting things. I mean, based off of the same thing.
Listen, Ghana didn't even fall on first 20. Not to talk about Nigeria.
Well, no shade at anybody, but I find it very interesting though. And interestingly, the African country that fell even within, I think the first 50.
First 50.
First 50 was just one African. No, I think Ghana falls within the first 50.
Ghana is on 55.
Ghana is on 55.
55, yes.
So I think the African country that falls within probably maybe before 50 or within the first 50 is an African country I wouldn't even have thought of.
Madagascar. Wow. Big shout out to Madagascans.
So, yes, I guess, like I said, when you look at what trends and what people tend to talk about, it's interesting to see that probably Ghana didn't make it, and Madagascar, I don't know how many people would want to say, I'm going to Africa and I'm going to visit Madagascar, you know, typically. But they say it's actually, it beats all the African countries. That's the first African country to even show up.
Ghana is on 55, and can you guess where Nigeria is?
With what we talked about, usually when people talk about going to Africa,
yes,
Ghana is one of the topics. Then
course.
Nigeria comes in. So if Ghana is at 55, I'd want to assume Nigeria will maybe be 56 up to about 60.
Why do you?
Wait, you're telling me Nigeria is not... Well, what position did they find themselves?
Nigeria is on 147th. 147th.
Say what?
147th.
Well, then I guess we can say we have another one on Nigeria. Because there's always been the battle between Ghana and Nigeria,
That's right.
music,
That's right.
food, and everything. There's always that debate about jollof. So maybe we can add this one and say we have another one on Nigeria as well.
I was actually rooting for, Cameroonians, because honestly, I love Cameroonians. I'm not going to lie.
Where are they? What position are they?
Cameroonians are on 137th.
Nobody's surprising though. 100 and what?
37th.
Wow.
Let's look at the factors that, they base on. They base on 6 factors.
Okay.
1 is social support. 2 is income. 3, health. 4, freedom. 5, generosity. And 6, absence of crime. Absence of crime. Very, very important.
So, who is on number 1?
That's a good question, honestly. Iceland is on number 1. Iceland is on number 1. Would you have thought?
No.
Big shout out to them.
Definitely.
Yes.
Big shout outs to them on that one.
Yes.
So I guess maybe by the factors you just pointed out, it's possible. I think it's possible because if we're looking at Africa,
Yes.
and Ghana, look at income, social support,
That's
and all
right.
that. I don't know how well the systems really work back home, so I'm not too surprised that those factors probably will push African countries as far back as it is on the list.
True.
But some of these other places, that's interesting. The Iceland you're talking about.
Yes.
What's their population like?
Their population is not even more than 400,000.
When you don't have too many people, then you're not likely to have too many of the issues that they're talking about, crime and all those things.
That's right.
But take a place like Nigeria, for instance. We know Nigeria has a very big population.
Huge.
So
Huge.
then definitely a lot of these issues will be more difficult to tackle when you're in such places. So
I'm pretty sure Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa.
I think
Yes.
so. I think so.
Yes.
I won't be surprised.
It's the most populated country in Africa.
And the more people you have, the more issues you have to deal with. Maybe that explains where Nigeria is. But Ghana is not that big either.
Ghana is not that big.
Listen, I think the biggest part for me, I'll just say we have one on Nigeria. So
Okay.
I'll conclude on that part. And then I think after Madagascar, Madagascar happens to be the first African country to even hit the first 50. Then Ghana follows. So if we were to start ranking based on African countries, Ghana is second. If you look at it from that angle.
Pretty much. Yes,
So
yes. Pretty much.
when we were in school, if you place second, that's not a bad position.
It's
to
not. Honestly, it's not.
be. So I think maybe we'll take it on that part.
And Zambia.
Where's Zambia?
Zambia is on 57th.
Oh, that's close to Ghana.
Very close to Ghana. Can you guess where the United States is? Almighty United States.
United States.
Yes.
I'll probably say first 20.
First 20?
First
You
20.
really think United States will fall in the first 20?
I mean,
place?
they say United States is considered to be
The greatest country in the world.
right? That's the tagline almost all the
But you
time.
need
So
to-
I want to believe that there's a reason they will tag themselves or people will tag them as the greatest country in the world.
If I told you that, Ghana is even in a better rank than the United States, would you believe it?
No. I wouldn't believe it.
The list of most peaceful countries in the world, the US is on 132nd.
Then maybe the tagline should change. I would seriously, if you weren't telling me this, I would have said I would expect at least the USA to fall within the first 20. Even maybe the
I'm not
first 10.
surprised, right?
Because again, you look at the way things are. Yes, there are issues here and there. There's the crime everywhere. But I wouldn't want to believe the USA
132nd.
compared to Nigeria.
At least they beat Nigeria. 147.
But Ghana beat them. So and then again, Ghana has another one.
Let's go.
Yo, Charlie, we are not doing bad so far.
When we talk about people going to Ghana, but back and forth, one beautiful thing that I've noticed is that when people go there, they go back to their various destinations safely. If you travel to Ghana, you come back home safely. I'm not surprised that we are on 55, but we can still do better.
Talking about peace, I would for Ghana, I think I would have maybe expected Ghana to be maybe a little up on yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right.
first 20, first 30. But
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Right. It's better than nothing,
It's
though.
better than nothing.
So tell me, which African country do you think is most likely to fall within the first 10?
African country to fall within the first 10. Definitely Ghana, which we know didn't. Because we are talking about peace,
Yeah.
I find it a little difficult to even narrow down on a specific African country, because I mean we know of a lot of the wars and stuff that has gone on in a couple of these places. So I'm even surprised to find Madagascar. I mean, I think Madagascar is one place I haven't really heard much of, like wars or anything like that. So I'm not really surprised. Or maybe I would have, until you mentioned Nigeria, maybe I could have said Nigeria. But with what we found out,
my people making no vex too, because this list, you guys are here.
No, but okay, so I mean Egypt, I wouldn't have been too surprised. I could think of Egypt. Maybe that would probably be one of the places that comes to mind off the top of my head, because like I'm saying, the issues with fights here and wars there, so it's difficult to really narrow down and say this African country or that African country.
Right.
But the fact that even the USA is somewhere else, I'm not really that surprised that most African countries did not make it. But which African country would you have thought I would have said?
I would go for Ghana straight. Ghana, Ghana straight.
I think I would have. I agree with you on that. But maybe on the premise that we found out where they are. But if we didn't know, I would have said Ghana.
That's right.
Because, I mean, almost every time we tout ourselves with the fact that they say we're a peaceful country. I would have expected that. And like you said, when people visit, they get back to their destination safely.
That's right.
And most people go in there, you don't hear too many complaints of like they went there and got kidnapped or any of those things. But sometimes in Nigeria, we've heard instances where foreigners have visited the place.
That's right.
And they get kidnapped and stuff like that. So, I think Ghana.
Right. As Africans, right, what do you think we can do to get on a better rank or better position?
A lot of it, I don't think, would be based on us, the individuals or the citizens necessarily. Most will be based more on the leaders. So maybe for us as citizens, we should start looking at voting based on policies and things that we think will make the country work, rather than ethnicity. And as for me, I belong to this. My parents belong to this party. Right. So we usually, I feel like we usually vote based on sentiment, how we feel, not really about who can do the job. Because I mean, most African countries, and I'll use Ghana as an example, we've changed governments back and forth, but it's always been between two parties.
That's right.
We're not willing to try any other party that can probably, let's see how that one goes. So if we're able to put leaders that can really put their feet down and make things work, I think a lot of these things will turn around.
That's right.
Social support, income, and all those places. Individuals, we can't really do much. It's going to be based off of the policies that the leaders are going to bring on board. You know, so I think maybe that from our part, vote leaders that we think can make the change.
That's right.
I'm not trying to sound political.
And why we voting to put, leaders who can make the change? We citizens, have to have a lot to do too.
Oh, definitely.
We got to change the way we think, the way we do the way we do a lot of things.
Definitely.
We all have a role to play here.
I totally agree. I think the mentality is one of the biggest things. Our mentality kind of always limits what we do.
Right.
We think in a certain way, even for us based here, even in our communities. We still see the way we handle stuff, our way we're dealing with time, showing up for events, and a whole. Which I hope maybe along the line we can talk about some of these things.
Definitely.
But the mentality also needs to change. So you put leaders in place, and then you do what you have to do as well to make sure that your mentality is aligning with the policies that they will bring in place. Hopefully, we can make some positive change. And then maybe the next index we'll be able to hit the first 10 that we're hoping we'll be able to hit. But
yes, I hope so too.
So on Trending Avenues, one of the things we'll be doing, probably at the end of every discussion or every episode, we'll find something interesting to do, quick activity. So for this particular one, what we're going to do will be, we're going to test our spelling bee capabilities.
So far, our producer has 4 different words here for us, and it's actually turned upside down.
I'll go for that one.
Well, this is very simple, honestly. Your word is aquivar.
What?
Aquivar.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I can use it in the mood.
Okay. All right.
Aquivar.
Let me see. A Q U I E V. So AQIEVER.
Yes, you have two. You have two attempts. You have this. This is your last chance.
Aquiver. Yo. AQUEIEVER.
Nah. You almost got it the first round. Yeah.
Yo, let me see what. Oh, so I put an E there.
I'll go for the middle one.
All right. Let's see. Spelling bee.
Hey.
Oh, it's a simple one.
Okay. Let's see.
Circumlocution.
The fuck? What?
Producer, say that again.
Circumlocution. Lu. CIRCUM. Circumlocution. CIRCUMLOCUTION.
Hey, pressure.
Did I get it?
Yeah, that's it. All right, that's fine. Let's finish.
Okay,
this
you
last.
pick.
The last one I picked one closer to you. That gave me wahala. So, all right, I'll take the one that's close to me.
Let's see. Pernicious.
PERNISCIOUS.
One strike.
Yo.
Pernicious.
PERNISCIOUS. Yo.
Obviously, the last one is mine. So, let's see how this goes.
Transcendent.
Yep. Transcendent.
Yep.
TRASCENDENT.
Bang.
Hey,
Charlie, it looks like some of us needs to go. We need to go back to school.
guys, I had one. This is 1-0, right? So the next game we will see.
Yeah, don't worry. The next one, I'm coming back, and this time I'm getting everything. I don't know if you'll be spelling, but whatever it is, I'm definitely going to pull. I'm going to pull one back.
You better come prepared. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name Nana Adom Jr. and
I go by Kojo Bafo.
Big shout out to our producer behind the scenes, McBonnie.
Yeah, he's the one that came up with the words.
That's right, aka Abodie. Thank you so much for watching. We're definitely going to see you once again.
We out.